We all face people who doubt, criticize, and even try to stop us from achieving our goals. They might be really good at hiding it behind a smile, or they may just be at odds with anything or everything we choose to do in life, and that's okay. Whether it's out of jealousy, insecurity, or misunderstanding, dealing with those who oppose you can be draining. But what if there was a way to turn that negativity into leverage and outsmart those who try to hold you back? Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy designed to help you master your emotions and focus on the things you can control, which in turn leverages everything around you into success and growth now. Today, we'll explore how Stoic principles can help you outmaneuver your haters, stay resilient, and turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. Let's dive into the timeless wisdom that can empower you to overcome any challenge life throws your way. Number 1. Focus on what you can control, not outside ideas or people. Many times when we deal with difficult people, it can be easy to get in our own way, to think about and come up with all sorts of things to be affected and controlled emotionally by related to it. Whether that be the person and their actions, how their actions affect others we know or us personally, what the potential problems could be, and so on. And in almost all of these circumstances, none of them have happened at all. They simply exist in our own mind and most likely not happen at all. They are simply obsessions in our mind we preoccupy ourselves with that continue to cripple us. Enter the sheer and incredible power of Stoicism's principle of focusing on what you can control. Stoicism teaches us that you cannot control anything outside of yourself, and it is a waste of time to attempt to do so. This process of obsessing and occupying yourself with trying to control outside events, outside people, things that have never happened except in your own mind, leads to drastic amounts of time, energy, and resources used up in the process that could be used in your life for a lot better and more effective purposes. This principle, simply put, means you cannot control other people or things outside of yourself, but you can control your emotions, your reactions, your words and behaviors, and therein lies all of your power in life. This is a process whereby you begin focusing on when you are being noticeably affected or influenced by outside people, and you consciously begin changing that focus to one of internal habits and thoughts, your processes, your needs, what is important to you in your life instead. For example, if you notice a toxic person near you is constantly making rude remarks to everyone, instead of taking it personally, laugh instead, realizing that the person most likely doesn't have any friends, and if they did, that person would be cringing every time this person opened their mouth alongside you right now. This is a process that you can become powerfully skilled at. Begin today by noticing when you are being unduly influenced or dramatically affected mentally and physically by a toxic person around you trying to drag you down. And begin intentionally redirecting that attention, that worry, that anxiety into yourself instead, into what you need to do, what is important to you, and how to accomplish all that instead now. Number 2, your ability to understand and do. Number 1 heavily determines most of your potential and happiness in life. This realization is something almost no one ever achieves in life, let alone obtaining from a successful career, great home life, or anything else. In particular, there are several ways this affects your happiness and potential in life. Let's look at a few of them here in number 2. One way focusing on what you can control as opposed to outside events affects your potential is that it shuts down a lot of the noise and misinformation and just flat-out bad opinions shared around and with you. Now, this is not to imply you should always shut down input and information coming into you from outside sources or people, but you must make a concerted effort to qualify that information and determine if it is legit info you should be concerned with or irrelevant and to be ignored. For example, If the mechanic at the shop tells you your tires in back are getting bad and need replace ASAP, you would take that as important and a notice to get that problem fixed in the future. But if a friend told you all the gossip about an enemy of hers that you know and how it affects you as well, and none of it is true, it's all speculation and made-up drama, then you know to ignore it and don't waste time or energy on it at all. Number 3. If you are in the habit of pleasing others or constantly focusing on what others think, say and do, you will always be subject to it and never succeed. You see, the hideous and dangerous truth of it all is that if you get into the habit of worrying about what others do, what others say, and how it affects you in a million different ways, that ties up tremendous amounts of time, energy, and resources of yours that are finite. We only have so much energy, attention, and resources each and every day to expend, and if we don't consciously choose to apply and focus that attention in the right ways, in ways that help us be more resilient, more confident, and stronger. The most powerful and profound way to consciously refocus that attention is to realize and begin taking on every day the realization that you do not have control over others, over other people's behavior and actions, and outside events of yourself. You only have control over your actions, words, behaviors, and mindsets. Being constantly or overwhelmingly influenced and affected by outside events and people is a lose-lose situation each and every day. Number 4. Realize that haters may always be present or nearby, but it is always a passing phenom on. And so are those people. You see, to actively hate on someone or have problem with them is to tie up their resources, attention, emotions, and such into you for an arbitrary reason that over time becomes obscured. As time passes and experiences change, many times people don't even know the reasons why they have a problem with something. They have just clung to it for so long, they just assume it hasn't changed. Those that carry around that hate for you, that problem they continually have, are so sad, so pathetic, that they have to make arbitrary time and space in their lives daily to carry it around with them, to live with it, to remind themselves it's important and needs to be reinforced, when there was usually nothing to support it. And the longer that hate lasts, the more useless and embarrassing those reasons to cling onto it become, especially when verbalized out in the open. Also remember an important element to our lives in 2024. With so many things vying for our attention and energy, the chances of someone remembering or having this down the road is extremely unlikely. Typically, between 80 and 90% of those negative things that cause a hater or someone to diss you disappear within 5 years or less. That is the power of transitory, temporary, and arbitrary information and social media world we live in today. Number 5, don't take it personal, it's not. Stoicism teaches us in its core principles and throughout time that others' opinions of you are their problem, not yours. This is an important distinction and realization you must begin taking on and accepting every day. Since we have no control over others' opinions and thoughts about us or what we do, it stands to powerful reason that wasting time caring what they think of us is any more relevant when it's not. Most times, these people don't really know anything about you or the context in which they are hating you on to begin with. They typically only know 5% of the situation or context at all. So remember, it's nothing personal. It could have been the person after you, the person before you, or someone randomly that got hated on by them. It's nothing personal and not intentionally directed at you. If it is, if you find that it's intentionally and personally directed at you, revel in it. Be proud of it, and stay the course of putting your attention and focus on your actions, thoughts, what's important to you. That's how to destroy haters the fastest and most thorough way. Number 6. The Stoic wall of waves taught us how the mind treats strong emotional experiences in Stoicism's most powerful and guarded scrolls, we have discussed in detail in prior videos about the wall of waves techniques they developed, we learn a very, very effective and insightful aspect to our minds. You see, when we encounter or remember a powerfully emotional experience and think about it in different ways, it causes our mind to strengthen that emotional memory and find more instances of our past where that strong emotion happened as well, and feeds us a lot more of it. Our brains on the subconscious level are designed to feed us back that which we constantly think, obsess, and have powerful emotions about. So, to try and keep that state, your mind will try to continue feeding you ideas, feelings, and experiences that caused you that exact same strong emotional response to continue that state both mentally and physically, unless you consciously intervene and begin taking control of your thoughts in that process. Knowing and really understanding this puts you at a huge advantage over the 99.9% of people who do not know how the mind works and its inherent characteristics. Knowing this, you can both begin to consciously intervene when you notice a strong emotional experience is leading your thoughts and behaviors in the wrong direction, and can simultaneously begin to work with others dealing with this situation as well. Others involved in a strong emotional experience leads you to know now that on the most basic mindset and subconscious levels, the mind will attempt to continue feeding and reiterating that strong emotional state through other similar experiences, giving them the same emotional result unless intervened by some internal or external force to it. If you found massive benefit in this video and have started seeing daily the improvements, not only in your communications, but interactions with others that have dramatically turned situations you've encountered so far using the techniques in this video, click below and subscribe. We love having you here. At Stoic Masters, we aim to provide the most powerful, cutting-edge, enormously effective Stoic tools and processes to help in daily life. In our challenges we face regularly and give life the purpose, reason, and meaning that you and only you want it to have. So until next video, take care, young one.